Nicki Minaj is number one in 81 countries and they still hate? Damn. Stay tuned. Welcome to the 18th episode of the Tell It Like It Is Hip Hop News Reaction Podcast. This is SP the Artist, your host. If you're not yet a subscriber of the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the videos and leave comments that lets us know if this news content is of relevance to you. If I miss any new artists, up and coming artists that you'd like for me to mention that's buzzing, just simply drop their name in the comments or a link. Also, like if I didn't hit on any hip hop news that may be relevant this week or something that's really still hot that I didn't cover in a week prior, just hit me up in the comments and I'll get it up there for you guys. Anyway, in today's episode, I want to talk about the Nicki hate train because it seems like the narratives are still going out there. And I just want to applaud Nicki for getting out there and doing damage control and framing her own narrative as she should. Because in today's social media universe, if you don't tell your story, if you don't speak your truth, if you don't make your message, because none of us are perfect and we're all going to make mistakes, people will frame a negative narrative to you. Jealous people, trolls in the world at large, who lack the ability to want to cultivate their own creativity, right? Put in their own work. They will rather make a name for themselves off of your work, right? Off of your name, dirtying your name, or whatever it is, or just even have fun trolling your efforts, right? If you don't create a narrative for yourself, speak up for yourself, this will happen. So I just want to speak to everyone, and that's like my message on today's episode for any artist that's out there trying to build up stuff up. I don't care if you're in hip hop or R&B or whatever you're trying to do. Create a message, a narrative of yourself. Share your story and do as many interviews as you can. Be really active in your social media because if you're building a fan base, you want to actually leverage trust within your fan base. So you need to be transparent, open, and honest. And for God, please, if you do anything, do not act like you're above them, better than them, and ignore them. That old Hollywood mentality thing does not work anymore. That's why when you see the Me Too movement, they really, the impact of it is so powerful because so many people in Hollywood and high places in corporate America, right, high business positions and stuff, positions of leverage, have abused their powers, act like they were better than people who are not making as much money, not the same race, not the same gender. All of these things, they've been abusing their positions of power for years, right? And not being relatable, right? And that actually hurt them because they don't have anybody who's empathetic with their plight because their plight was manipulative, selfish, right? So you definitely don't want to come off with the Hollywood, not ignoring people, not, replying to comments, likes and stuff like that. You don't have to actually say a comment to everybody, but you can at least give them a little heart if they liked or commented on your picture or whatever. Because I don't care if you're a rapper, I don't care if you sell cookies, I don't care if you sell dresses, whatever you do, you're not shit without your fan base. Without your customers and clients, you're not shit. Your ideas don't matter for shit. Your shit doesn't become real, your ideas, your product, your services, your art, until someone buys it, till someone shares it, retweets it, or whatever. If it's not adding value and impacting and people don't see it or benefit from it, you're not adding any value. You're not doing anything. So most of these people that are wealthy or whatever, they're wealthy because of consumers, customers, clients. And now in today's society, we're realizing how powerful we are. So you see the Me Too movements and all this stuff. The power of the fans, the customers, the clients, the followers. We now know our power. We can shut businesses down. The businesses only have money because we consume and buy their services, their products, and all of that shit. If we stop doing it, they have shit. If everybody in the world find out that somebody is unethical that works at Apple, and Apple is still that disrespected or raped somebody or whatever, people can stand up and boycott Apple and not buy any Apple products, and the Apple company will go down. Literally, period. I don't care how many billions in assets they amass. If we found out that they're moving their money into other businesses and we don't support any new ventures that they're a part of, right, their business goes away. So without the people, you have nothing. So that's one thing I want to say. So you should definitely get up and speak your own narrative, speak your own truth. Don't allow anyone to frame your narrative because, unfortunately, the 7 deadly sins still exist. So people are going to have envy, right? They're going to envy you. If they still believe that they can't do something, they're not special, they're going to envy people that that who believe that they are special, who know that they can do it, and who do it. And you have to understand, top spots like Jay-Z, Drake, Nicki, Beyonce, Rihanna, top spots like that, right, is going to warrant, especially in the black community. Let me just keep it all the way clear. All human beings have tendencies to jealousy. Let's just say that there are people there were Caucasian young women that were envious of Taylor Swift, right? So, or Britney Spears or Lady Gaga. I'm pretty sure that there were Caucasian women, who were jealous. I'm pretty sure there were Caucasian men who were jealous of Brad Pitt, right? Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not saying that, but I just want to focus on, we're talking about hip hop, which is majority African American in nature, right? It comes from, the inner cities of New York City, and all of these things, right? So I just want to talk about our communities just for this segment. It does affect all of us, right? But and I know this because I'm a creator who started a business, and I'm a tattoo artist, and I started promoting myself, and I developed a skill. I had a lot of potential, but I still had to learn a lot of technical stuff. So with me, I was always really humble. I was never going to charge people a lot of money until I really earned the respect technically for myself. I needed to become competent at what I did skill wise as a tattoo artist before I had that financial confidence to say, hey, I'm going to charge you $100+ an hour, right? So I'm finally there, right? 16 years busting my ass. I didn't have a mentorship. I had to I was self-taught. I taught myself, and I went out there and I just failed fast, and I learned out loud and all of this. But I'm just getting to the point where I can say, hey guys, $100 or more, that's what I'm worth. Or I'll do a bundle package for you, save you a little bit, but it's just not as cheap as the amateurs. So that type thing. But I had to frame this whole way through my business. I had to frame my narrative. I had to get in social media because people were saying things, oh, he got in town and all this and that. People were attacking me while I was growing my business. Now think about the pressure of this. The whole time I had to keep getting good, no excuses. I had to get better at tattooing. I had to still promote myself. I had to grow. I had to believe in myself. And it was people that saw the potential of my talent. They saw how talented of an artist I was, how I was improving my drawing as well over the years. But my drawing would always outpace my tattooing. And I'm going to be totally transparent. I was a better artist than I was a tattoo artist. So I had to literally level up. You know what I'm saying? I had to equalize that shit. I had to get my tattoo skill equal with my artistic ability. And I finally did that. But it took me 16 years to do it. And I'm not ashamed of that because I never gave up when all of those challenges came down. Whether I was depressed, feeling good, I kept pushing in my business. And I'm saying that as it relates to the Nicki Minaj thing is because what I want to talk about today is how they attack her at points of what she's supposed to do. She's supposed to frame her own narrative. She's supposed to do her own PR work. She's supposed to be her own publicist, even if she has a publicist, right? She's supposed to believe in herself and think that she's better than everybody else. Everyone knows the cocky, confident bravado that is hip hop. I don't want to have to keep talking about this, I mean, we all know this way back in the day. Curtis Blow, all of these people, man, they talk confident. Run DMC, confident, cocky, I'm better than you, this, that, and the third. That's how hip hop is. Everyone is not the humble guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. It's mostly confidence and braggadocio in hip hop. So when Nicki does what every top MC has done, they attack her for it. But here's the point. Weak people get together. This is the 4-day laws of power. Weaker people, excuse me. And these are people who are simply under the illusion that they can't be great themselves. So most of the time they go around hating. And I want to be clear about that. Any human being with cognitive functionality can rewire their brain, which is neuroplasticity. They can improve their personalities, the way that they behave, think, right, and feel, and then they can become an entirely different person. They can have great relationships, great businesses, and all of that if they put that time and belief and get out of their comfort zones. But those who choose not to get out of their comfort zones will hate on creative and adventurous people. And so that's why I'm talking about the weaker community gets together to hate on Nicki. So, and that really is an indicator of haters. Haters is just like a self-hate thing. So really, the people who they attack, they have nothing personal with. It's really not about them. It's about their feelings of inadequacy, their feelings of jealousy, envy, their feeling of not being enough, their feeling of not being respected or good enough when they actually can be. They just simply have to put in the work. And I'm going to tell you something. Nicki in these interviews should do this because you have to connect with your fans. And see, they try to trip Nicki up at everything. So if Nicki clears it up with her fans, they're saying she's doing too much. She's talking too much. If she airs out dirty laundry because somebody's like the Safari thing, he led a false narrative that he wrote her raps. He did. He literally lied and said this. Now she didn't want to sling mud back and forth, right? Like Jay Prince was telling Drake. So she never revealed all of the shit that he did to her because she didn't want to come off as a hater to her fans because she was already getting enough hate. Because being a confident woman who knows that she was a lot better MC than most of those guys, and she was writing her raps, and a lot of these fucking guys that were top MCs allegedly was not writing their rap. Of course she's supposed to be fucking confident. That female bust her ass doing tours, mixtapes, all that shit. Nicki put in fucking work. She lived in different cities and she did it. And there's a lot of other artists that also done this as well, but we're talking about Nicki. And what I notice is, and I'm gonna tell you, some people say you have a bias. No, yes, I do like Nicki and I respect her work. I'm not always gonna agree with everything that she says or does. None of us are fucking perfect. But I'm not gonna sit by and hear someone say, oh, she did this, is not queen. Like, fuck that. No more human beings downing other human beings. Read Thinking Fast and Slow by Dr. Daniel Kahneman. None of us are fucking perfect. Even a queen can act unladylike or unqueen-like at times and then be a queen and be big enough to learn from their mistakes. None of us are fucking perfect. It's how it works. We make mistakes, then we learn from it. That's how we fucking work. When we learned how to walk, we made mistakes and then we got better. We learned from it. We learned how to ride a bike, we kept stumbling and falling, then we learned from those mistakes. That's how you do. It's when you choose to be incorrigible. See, incorrigible is not a default setting. No one is hopeless by choice. If you don't have brain damage, you can choose to improve yourself. But you can choose to be incorrigible, choose to be hopeless. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, and I kind of got off track there on that tangent, I'll be honest. But all I'm saying is Nicki is doing what she's supposed to do. If Safari puts out a false narrative, she's supposed to do it. This is the age of transparency, guys. Don't let them trick you into the old Hollywood. Oh, we don't answer peasants here. They're beneath us. If they say something derogatory, we're not going to answer them. And I'm not going to pander to the audience. Obviously, they're not true fans if they're going to believe it. No, sometimes your fan needs to have that ammunition to argue in your defense. I'm trying to tell you, this shit is real, guys. Barbershop debates, hair salon debates, right, on female rappers and shit. This shit is real. So your fans, whether online, whether in the barbershop or the salon, or even at home in the living room, they want to argue in defense for you, but how can they do it if you're not giving them facts from your side of the story? And that's all I want to say. If Nicki says anything, she's supposed to. If Cardi B shouts out or posts her, and this is not a dig on Cardi at all. I respect Cardi, her hustle, her success, and everything. It's just that I'm dealing with Nicki right now. That's what I'm talking about. Nicki. I'll do a episode on Cardi when that's relevant to me, right? So anyway, so Cardi puts up something how she has first female to do this or has number ones or whatever. Everybody applauds that. If Nicki does that, we're like, oh, Nicki, we get it. Oh, why did you have to put up that shit? You're number one in 81 countries. Why you had to do that? Now, here's the thing. When Nicki does that, when she does, and she always does get numbers. Like, let's just keep it real. She always does get numbers. Even if she gets off to a slow start, her fan base is so fucking solid. And her music usually does grow on you that she gets more streams, more sales, right? As it goes. So we're not even worried about like first week sales and none of that shit. That doesn't really count. Nicki has a loyal fan base, right? And plus a lot of new people that discover her music, buy downloads her stuff. So we're not even going to go there. But they attack her at every point. If she shares her accolades, which she's supposed to with her fans, so they can have that ammunition to argue on her behalf. And you want to do that. You have to be top of mind. And guys, I want you to know about influence in order to be top of mind, because it takes only a few hours for someone to forget that they even talked to you. That's why you have to follow up as in business, period. Now, if you're a musician or artist, if you're online, right? If you're online, you have to use direct response marketing for yourself, guys, or at least post and connect with your people so they can see what's going on with you from point to point. So you can keep them updated so they can know when a song is coming, so you can get feedback of a song. In my opinion, I feel like this, and I'm going to say this. I don't care if I got to be the one to create the app, and I don't care if someone takes my idea and try to use it before me. Musical artists should invite their fan base into the studio with them. They can do a secret live while they're recording in the studio and let their respected fans, the people that they respect their ear musically, get in there and give them feedback when they're laying down tracks. Do that so you can clean it up. That way you don't have to go back like Kanye, right, and try to redo, or Nicki, right, with one of her songs off our Queen album. She wants to go back and redo it. I think I forgot what song it was. Shit. I forgot. I know it was with a really good artist on there. I'll mention it in the next episode. But anyway, a lot of artists are going back and touching up stuff, which is awesome as a Kindle artist, right? I'm a published Kindle author, and I can do that with my books. I can update any of my books and just republish them. And I love that you can do that. But I feel like if you can have a live session while you're in the studio, while you're building an album, and your most loyal fans that you connected with, and that's why I say it's important to connect with your fans. Because if you know who your loyal fans are, you can connect with them, invite them in the studio, and say, "Hey guys, I'm like writing this track down. What do y'all think about the beat? What do y'all think about?" You can literally build and create the songs for the people, just like when they go into Burger King, have it your way. Let the musical fans have it their way. If you connect more with your fans, and I hope that musicians really listen to this. Now I know I gotta, pay for shout outs. I know I gotta run ads and all of that stuff and build up my network to get more views on this video, but I know that this is a valuable video with valuable advice. I think that they should do lives, the musical artists, and invite their fans into the studio session and actually allow them to give feedback on the tracks that they're laying down. That way, your fans now. So the majority, if it's a hook that you come up with and the majority of people give it hearts and likes, you can literally build the song off of their reactions. Now, of course, you can let a limited amount in. Your top fans, I mean, the fans that you know by name, that goes to your shows, that bought context tickets, that downloads your CD. I mean, downloads your album as soon as it comes out. That's always in your mentions. Those are the people that you can invite, your most loyal fans. And I'm not saying everybody's going to be good, because you know that some people are not true fans. Some people are trolls and or just bandwagon followers. We know that they're not valuable to anything, because usually they don't spend. They just simply follow your social media and do comments and stuff like that, or just follow what's trendy, like your stuff because a lot of other people are liking it. So we know that they have value. So we're tracking behavior here. So track the behavior of those that are active. And as a musician, and this is one thing I can credit. Damn man, I forgot his name, man. All right, you guys, Ryan Leslie, right? I believe that's his name. If I'm saying it wrong, he used to date Cassie. He's a talented producer, black guy. I believe he's from Harlem. I think he graduated from an Ivy League college as well. Basically, all right. So Ryan Leslie, right? He was talking about creating lists and stuff like that and collecting data and information. And I think he was smart and so ahead of it. Us as marketers in business, we need to create a list, right? A list of people that we can actually promote to. Let's just say Amazon goes out of business, Facebook. If you have a successful email list of buyers, people that are loyal to you, you can create a business from anywhere. You don't need Facebook or Amazon to do that, or even Google at that particular point. If they go away, you'll have their email and a way to contact them and a way to, send advertisement to them, all of that stuff, right? So rappers should have a same email list, an email list of their most loyal fans that go to their concerts, downloads all of that stuff. That's always in their mentions saying great things and showing love, retweeting, reposting. Those are the people that you invite into your personal session and stuff. Anyway, I want to get off that tip, and hopefully that comes to fruition, or hopefully I can be a part of the team or the movement that organizes that for musical artists. Anyway, so Nicki gets unfairly attacked. So whenever she gets accolade, they get angry. So they need to point out all of the flaws, and that's where we at in society. They're always going to try to like tear you down. Now, now of course, the Barbs or Nicki stands are going to be very loyal. They're going to be really biased, but I really do believe that they're not that stupid. I don't think Barbs are stupid, because a lot of times people try to create an archetype out of a fan, and they try to lump all of the fans in one box. I'm pretty sure that Nicki Minaj fans come from different walks of life, have different interests, have different tastes. They just all in common love Nicki music and stuff like that. I feel like if Nicki has a fucked up song, I think her fans are honest enough to say, "Hey, Nicki, we don't like this, do that," and I think she loves and appreciates them so much because they support her and not knock her. If they're willing to give constructive criticism, she'll take it. Nicki's already proven that even on Monster, she said that Kanye said, "Redo the fucking verse. I believe you got better in you." She did it better, and now look, she was the best on the Monster song. Okay, with Jay and Kanye, she stood out to me. And I feel like it goes in that order. I think it was Nicki, Kanye, and Jay in that order. That was the best. And I love Jay, so it's definitely not a dig at Jay. I love Jay, but in that song, the Monster song, I feel like Nicki and Kanye they stood out. But I feel like Jay just buttoned it up. He finished it nice. So I love Jay too. But just speaking how Nicki shined on that song, and she was willing to take the constructive criticism of Kanye West and improve that. And like I said, the Hip Hop News Reaction podcast is an opinion of mine too. But I can say my opinion doesn't matter as much as your opinion. I'm just sharing mine. This is about a discussion that we can have in an agreement in the hip hop community, which that we can be fans, think for ourselves, not be influenced by big media personalities, right? Be if you don't like a song, if academics say he like a song and you don't like it, don't like the song. If Joe Button say he thinks a song trash and you like the fucking song. You get what I'm saying? If Funk Master Flex says a song is garbage and he doesn't want it, if you actually like it, like the song. Don't follow a trend. Be who yourself. Be who you are. Be yourself. Feel free to be you. If you honestly like something, like it. It doesn't make you less of a person because most people say the song is trash. I like Barbie Tings. I love Chun Li as well by Nicki, but I love Barbie Tings. I think it was dope. I love the boom bap. I think it was dope. I love the new sounds and I also love the throwback sounds. I love boom bap. I think she was really in the pocket on that, right? The same way, No Frauds. I liked No Frauds. I think what it was the timing. And we've seen this even with 50 Cent. When 50 Cent had hits and stuff like that, when there was a narrative that was shifting and people thought he was a bully and that he did overkill, like, of course, 48 Laws of Power, whenever you go do overkill in 48 Laws, it comes back, right? It's a transgression, and so it comes back to haunt you usually. So I think that's what happened to 50. It was an overkill. But 50 was simply defending themselves and setting a message out because they did want him out here. They envied him. They feared him. So people did team up against 50. So it wasn't 50 isolating himself. They isolated 50. And 50 knew that if he was to go and try to pander to them and kiss their ass, it would have put him in a weaker position. So 50 did the right thing. It's just that the fans didn't understand that and they looked at him as a bully. And even when he dropped hits, they were resistant to it. And I think that's what happened. So it doesn't mean that sonically the songs were bad. It's just that was the mindset of a lot of those fans at the time. So anyway, so I just want to basically talk on that. I don't want to run it out, but I notice every time that it's someone that's trying to dig at Nicki for something, they don't like to give her credit. And here's why I know I'm glad that she's working. First off, if you got academics saying I'm rocking with Nicki and a lot of this, because academics that he doesn't mind the tea like most of us, right? All I'm saying is Thinking Fast and Slow, Dr. Daniel Kahneman, which is not just a book on understanding better mental models and cognitive biases, but it's how to better gossip. The book is actually about that. It's not just, groundbreaking breakthroughs in psychology. No, it's about gossiping better, having the best information instead of jumping the gun. That's all it's about. I feel like academics, when he heard the information from the Funk Master Flex interview with Nicki, which was, I believe, an hour and a half long, and she touched on the writing, all of that shit. I feel like he only agrees with her because she created a clearer narrative of what actually happened, right? Which Safari had no choice but to concede to and admit that he had lied. Because if he realized if he kept going with the lying thing, that he would be over. Now his credibility is shot. He already been robbed, so we know he's not a street thorough guy by himself. He would have to pay niggas or have niggas do shit for him. So we know that he's not thorough in that sense. Not saying that he won't whip your ass in a one-on-one, but we know that he's not a brolic type dude, right? We know that he's not creative in his writing. Not that he can't ever learn. He can't study music like I did and learn how to writing structure and learn how to develop his ear. Not said he can't do that, but right now he doesn't have it. He doesn't have any consistent hits. I never believed that he penned Nicki's because I feel like this. It's about the ear as far as the writer. Even if their intonation and their inflection sounds horrible in the booth, if this person can create melodies and stuff like Quentin Miller, even if his inflection and his intonation is not great, the guy knows melody. He knows how to write fucking hit songs. That's what I'm talking about. The golden ear. If you don't have the golden ear, you won't have the golden pen. That's the way that it fucking works. There's no one hit wonders when it comes to a songwriter. You have no fucking career as a songwriter if you can only write one hit song. And that's the truth. You don't have a career. Because if they feel you can't rinse and repeat that shit, create a fucking system out of it, no one will hire you. Simple as that. So that's all I'm saying. I didn't believe that Safari did it. I knew that Nicki had done it. Not saying that she wasn't influenced by the energy and space of him being there. We're all influenced by things that we're around. Triggers, different things. You know what I mean? That's setting the mood. That's why they talk about in the book how you can help yourself by setting up things that trigger you to feel good for productivity in your office or in your home. If you like writing and you like Hemingway, you can have pictures of Hemingway up if that motivates you to write. Shit like that. So I just want to just get back into that. And I think that we should just simply, I respect Nicki more. Nicki's taking the constructive criticism. And guess what? We're not going to be able to please everyone. So, and this, for all creators, only focus on your fans. I'm serious. Focus on your fans, But you can take the feedback from your haters and leverage it. You know that they're hating on you and they're only saying it to hurt you and to discourage your creativity. But if they're giving you something that's factual, if you can extract any facts out of their criticism, even though they're trying to be destructive instead of constructive, still taking a run with it. I learned that when I was younger. Someone had told me, and that's how I got my GED. I had took a pre-GED test. I had the lowest score in the class. I mean, my bad, guys. I took a pre-GED test, right? And I was the last one to get up in the class. Everyone had got up and turned in that test, and I felt like shit. Guess what? I had the highest score in the class, guys. And you know what I was told, the lesson that he had told me? He said, listen, there are going to be some people that might shit on you or whatever and make you feel bad. But if they ever give you any good advice within that, take it and run with it. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe when he seen me and he gave me a couple bits of advice, but that's what really stuck out to me. First, I was surprised to see that everyone ran out there to want to appear like they had their shit together or that they were better. When actually they had the lowest scores. I had the highest. But because I cared about making sure I had the right answers and double checking my stuff, I was the last one to get up. But anyway, sorry for I digress on that. I just wanted to. I always want to. Well, no, you know what? Actually, that was relatable because it's all about the perception. If people are perceiving it a certain way, it may not be the truth just because you see things one particular way. Just like when they were putting the narrative out there that she never paid any homage, and then they put out an 8-minute video of her paying homage to Little Kim, Foxy Brown, and all of them, right? Lauryn Hill, Queen Latifah. She's been doing that whole career, but what happened was, since they wasn't playing those videos up to date, they wanted to paint the narrative that she was evil. And I also want to say this before I close off on this episode. And you know what? This is a fucking rant and a tangent. It's always going to be when it comes to topics like this. And that's why I want you guys to open up a discussion. Now, I know I got to get used to Twitter and different things like that, but I really love Instagram more. But I invite you guys, to discuss this stuff. That's what this is for. This is for us, the fans, and for us to be able to have an unbiased discussion about the news in hip hop today and the artists in hip hop today, and as it relates to us, because if they're dealing with something personal that makes the news, lesson from that stuff. That's why I say how it's related, and not for us to dehumanize. That's another thing. They try to dehumanize celebrities. I'm not having that shit, because you try to dehumanize celebrities and put accountability on them, and they just fucking humans. But yet, if a situation you want to hold them accountable with a Me Too movement as well, you can't do that. They're fucking human beings. The Me Too has to go for everybody. Don't just turn in people because they're famous. No, turn in people that wronged you, that abuse you, that even if they're a regular person, because I see a lot of that, whereas though some of it is genuine and they're genuine victims. And like I said, I respect the Me Too movement, but a lot of it is vindictiveness and vengeance and hate. If a guy didn't choose a woman and marry them, because I personally experienced this in my personal life, guys, and I don't brag, but I got a big ass dick and I got a good heart, and women fall for me. For those women that are emotional, they fall for that and get into that, and they want me around. Why? Because I'm a genuine human being that doesn't want to hurt people, and then I can please them sexually, right? So there are those situations where you find yourself in, and you just simply got to do the best you can. You're not going to be able to please everybody, and people can be vindictive with you. If you leave them, they'll be like, oh shit, I'm going to turn you in and say you raped me or whatever. So I'm not saying that there aren't genuine victims. There are. But who fucks it up for them is the vindictive people that create these lies or just trying to get a 15 minutes of fame. So that's why I'm saying it's important to tell your side every fucking time. So let's just get back to that. Nicki told her side. The dehumanizing thing. I don't like it, right? You try to hold people to a certain... No, you're dehumanizing. She's a fucking human being at the end of the day. It's her job. She's a musician. Just like you got a job at McDonald's, that's her job. It's like you can't falter. You're not going to do that. I'm not going to stand by and let that narrative go out there without adding my 2 cents to it. The braggadocious thing, that's just how it's always been in rap for the most part. Whether it's Salt and Pepper bragging and talking shit, Queen Latifah talking shit, everybody talk that shit. But when Nicki did it, it hurts. But I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to close out this thing. Nicki gets the attacks because the strongest will always get attacked by the weak ones. That's one. She's the strongest. And she really embodies everything that is queen. Because guess what? A queen is not perfect. She's going to have good times and bad times just like a king. So you can't talk about queen like or none of that. No, human like. But she's earned the status of it. Nicki has done the work that most of these women aren't able to do. She's taking arrows and stuff. Most of you human beings, and I'm gonna be honest, y'all ain't even in a good mindset. Y'all would have committed suicide if y'all was to get attacked and talked about like Nicki. Y'all would have committed suicide. Y'all would have started to become drug addicts and alcoholics. She has a tough skin. She has the wherewithal, and she has fucking grinded it. She's earned it, and she solidified herself. She has a great instinct, business instinct, and she has a great musical ear, and she implements. And most of these women get anxiety because they know they're not willing to do it. Most of these women take on these rap careers because they want to rap, get a little buzz, so they can get wifed by an NBA player, a rich rapper, or a rich person in general. Hopefully, some chic billionaire will marry them. Most of these, and that we have seen this with actresses, R&B singers, right? They come out, they have a little buzz. They're not passionate like a Beyonce or Rihanna, right? Or Madonna or Britney Spears. So they can't keep rinse and repeat. They never stay at the top. But you notice they wind up marrying an athlete or doing something like this because that's what I'm trying to tell you. Their only goal was to get hot enough, to get enough attention, to make a little money, have it easier, but to be married by a well-to-do man. I'm worthy to be on his arm. I'm a trophy for him because I've done this. I'm telling you. Nicki is not that. You see Nicki be in and out of a relationship. She would drop a nigga if the relationship ain't serving her. We seen her with a nigga that makes less than her. We seen that with niggas that makes just as much as she do, right? We seen Nicki in all of these situations. So it's not that Nicki's definitely not a gold digger. So that's one thing. But she has standards, and I respect her fucking standards. You know what I'm saying? I respect her standards. Step yourself up. A lot of black people get angry when they hear level up. And it's unfortunate. We're supposed to evolve. We are the most intelligent creatures as human beings, but we have a resistance when it comes to evolving, right? Getting outside of our comfort zone. That's only because we've been tricked. We've been tricked generations ago to be factory workers and stuff like that, and slaves and all of that shit. That time has passed. We can't blame the ancestors of old that did that shit. We got to rewire our thinking now. You get what I'm saying? We got to rewire our thinking now. And all I'm saying is, everybody's not going to agree with Nicki and all of this, or I'm not trying to get you to forgive anything that she does out of character. That goes for any of us human beings that we fuck up. Hold all of us accountable. But don't dehumanize us because we get into positions of power and success. Because guess what? Who gave us that power? You did. So if that's the case, you must be evil then. So let's stop vilifying people and dehumanize them. We had to just simply respect what she's doing. Okay, now we know that she wrote all of our stuff. And that's just the thing. Now we find out she wrote all of her stuff. Well, she must have been influenced by them. They can't let it down. And that's envy. That's jealousy talking, guys. That's resentment. And that woman has done nothing to y'all but do what she's supposed to do. Bust her ass to get her name out there and to make hits and to consistently work hard. Even if she doesn't always get a hit right. The fact that she's putting in the effort, guys. Some people give up. They just want to do enough to get married, wifed up by a baller or something. Nicki cares more about the craft than being wiped up by some baller. She's a fucking baller. Period. So let's just stop with the bullshit narratives, the bullshit framing. And they try to use it. What happened is that, and like I said, I love Cardi, but Cardi got revealed. She did. She doesn't write her own stuff. She had Atlantic Records. They did have an agenda. They did have an agenda. They really, truly did have an agenda. They didn't want Nicki to be doing as well because if Nicki shined too well at that time, it would overshadow Cardi. So, of course, it was their interest. And in business, as they should, do what is best for them. No one is knocking that. All I'm saying is Cardi had a little bit more help than which Nicki did. Cardi has a golden ear too. Cardi is smart enough to choose stuff. I don't think that Cardi is blindly being led around. I believe Cardi has the instincts to pick a good flow, track and stuff like that if somebody's working with it. And another thing, I would not ever knock any songwriters or people that has collaborations and help because that's what you do as a songwriter. It's just in our black community, we like to tear each other down. So we came up with this bullshit criteria that rap artists have to write for themselves. That's bullshit. So every other hit platinum person, rock and roll people, they can have a writing team and shit like that and collab with other songwriters. But if a black person does it or a rapper does it, right? And I know there's white rappers and Asian and Latino rappers too. Not taking y'all out, guys. But I'm just saying within our black community, we tear each other down. And it's an excuse. Just like with Drake. A lot of people envy Drake because the women like him. He can get women. He was living his best life, his dream. And most people don't believe in themselves, so they envy him. So when they say, oh, they're writing, so let's tear him down. So then Drake just shot through all that. But I like these conversations about writing, about who's this and that, because we get to uncover the bullshit. So now we're going to go by the standard of writing. So now when we know that Nicki does all the writing, now we want to say, oh, writing is not important. But when we envy Drake and somebody did a reference track, and people keep talking about this reference track. Listen, Jay-Z didn't get a reference track. You know why Jay-Z didn't get the reference track? Well, since as far as we know, because Kanye was right there in the fucking studio. Getting out in the morning, I'm gonna get me out of here. Right? That song. I'm from where the right that song. Kanye, if you watch the video when Jay-Z was nodding his head to the beat, Kanye was giving him pretty much the chorus. Now, of course, Jay-Z freestyled the lyrics out of his brain, but he still did know the chorus. I'm from the dun, 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 dun. Kanye did that. So if Jay was in LA somewhere and Kanye was in the studio in New York and Jay was on a strict schedule, Kanye would have had to send him the reference track to that. So let's get away from that bullshit, right? All I'm saying is you don't get to pick and choose. That's similarly like with LeBron. If LeBron breaks certain things, now you want to tear him down. LeBron is dealing with the same attack that Jay-Z was under, that Drake was under, that Nicki was under, that Beyonce was under. Anybody that just goes along with the top spot. People that are weaker, that are afraid, that don't think that they can do good things because you had the courage, they're going to attack you. And it's not saying anything about you. It's just saying where they are mentally, how frustrated they are. It's just hate, guys. And a lot of times people learn words and learn to articulate themselves, and they just make their hate sound more articulate, and some people are fooled by it and led astray. All I'm saying is, guys, is think for yourself. If a person puts out a whack song, okay, it's a whack fucking song. But if you like that song, don't allow somebody to shift the narrative and you stop liking it because most popular people saying they don't like it. That's all I'm saying. Be courageous, be bold, be your fucking self. If you like something, like it, guys. I'm gonna tell you something. Jordan tennis shoes. I'm just gonna say this. Jordan tennis shoes. I didn't like them coming up. I started liking retro Jordans, 3s and 4s and 5s specifically as I got older. But I never followed the trend. I didn't like Karachis when I was young. They were very popular. I wore what I liked. Anything you see me wear or do whatever, eat, watch. If I post a song, it's because I like it. It's not because it's fucking popular. It's because I like it. If I say RIP to a particular celebrity, it's because I recognize that celebrity. I followed them at some point, and I appreciated the value that they added. But anyway, be yourself, guys. Don't be led astray by this fucking Nicki hate. If you're not a Nicki fan, you don't have to. If the content that she makes is not for you, then it's not for you. All I'm saying is don't try to tear down her efforts because she's the only one. She's going to go down as the greatest MC. No female rapper has had a long reign. They didn't write their own raps. And I'm not saying Queen Latifah didn't. But like everyone knows these people got help. Even I love Lauryn Hill. She even got sued for not crediting a writer, somebody that contributed on her album. Right? The miseducation, of Lauryn Hill. So everybody keep trying, it's not Pink Friday. Oh, it's not this Nicki. It's never going to be any of that. Nicki has hits now. Period. And you got to be a strong motherfucker to take all of the heat and the darts that Nicki take and still thrive and create. She's a fucking boss. Anyway, this is SP the Artist signing out. Enjoy the rest of your week.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.